welcome to everyone for coming out today and helping us to celebrate Sergeant Jimmy Mueller's career and services to the citizens of our great city. And you look at the crowd, and it speaks volumes to your character and how you've done your job, and we couldn't thank you more. So I also like to recognize Mayor Jason Reeves. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for all that you do and the members of the Troy City Council do to support law enforcement and public safety in our city. We certainly couldn't do it without you. So, I'd like to recognize Mr. Max Davis from the City Council that's here. Any other council members that are here? I think he was the only one that I saw. Thank you for being here, Mr. Max. It means a lot. So, former chiefs, Chief Ennis is here. Thank you for being here. Chief Reeves and Chief Everidge has some prior commitments and couldn't be here today, but I know they contacted you and wished you well. So, thank you to our law enforcement partners, Pike County Sheriff's Department here, the District Attorney's Office, District Attorney James Tarbox is here, Drew Brooks from the Alabama State Troopers is here, Chief Boder from Troy University. There's probably some other Chief Stevens is in the back. Judge Baker, thank you for being here. I know you've got to see a lot of these men over the years.
Especially when he pulls me up.
Yeah. Did you try your own case? Not But thank all of you for being here. And if I've missed anybody, I apologize. I see a lot of former police officers, past members of the Troy Police Department here. If you're a past member of the Troy Police Department, please stand. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much for coming. It means a lot. Sergeant Mueller has had an amazing career with a total of 25 years of service in law enforcement. 23 of those years have been right here with the Troy Police Department. 25 years of service to any profession deserves recognition, but 25 years of service in public safety, especially law enforcement, deserves special recognition and honor for a job well done. And that is what we intend to accomplish here this afternoon. So at this time, we'll ask Deputy Chief Danny Barron to come forward and with the invitation.
Y'all saw Brian McClendon on the brochure. He had other business that he had to take care of. An emergency came up, so he asked me to stand in for him. It's my honor to. Let's go to God for you. Well, we come to you this afternoon in such a special occasion. We thank you, Lord, for occasions like this. We can get together and enjoy spending time with each other. We thank you, Lord, for Jimmy and his family. And we thank you for the time that he has spent here at the police department. We thank you for his service and his commitment here. And we thank you for the love that he has shown all of us during his time here. We pray, Lord, that you would be with us this next hour as we just look back on fond memories of Jimmy. And we pray that everything that's done and said here today would be pleasing in your sight. We thank you for all that you do for us, Lord. We pray all these things in Christ's name. Amen.
At this time, we'll ask Mayor Reeves to come forward with his comments.
Good evening. Before I start my comments, I wanted to, we've got something from the governor that I wanted to read. It says, Governor Kay of the state of Alabama has presented this certificate of recognition to James H. Mueller. This certificate is presented in recognition of your retirement from 25 years of service with the Troy Police Department, effective May 30, 2024. Congratulations on your retirement, and thank you for protecting and serving the citizens of this great state. And she signed it, so I want to give this to you. We'll take pictures of all this. stuff later. Today's what I pray for every day. That somebody like Jimmy and all of you that have served, so many of you in here, have the opportunity to retire and be healthy and have a family after all of the danger and the trouble and the things that you have to deal with. And, you know, I got emotional the other day when Kim posted that picture of Jimmy getting ready to go for the last time. And I had a little bit of a scare the other day, and people just don't realize, most of the people in this room realize, because y'all deal with it every day. You've either done it or you've been a family member. Kim understands it from a family aspect probably as good as anybody in this room, but you just don't understand what it takes every day to do what y'all do. And we had a situation that, you know, the other day, and I was on the square and I looked on the CAD and I saw the call go out. I ran, and people probably thought, what is he doing? I ran, jumped in my car and drove not very far because, you know, dealing with a situation that happens all the time that could have went sideways and it didn't. And, you know, I stood in the middle of the street that day and hugged his neck because, you know, I'm just thinking, you know, here he is toward the end, and, you know, but it never ends. And it's something that I want, that all the former law enforcement officers that stood up and all our current people to realize that, you know, it's a tough job, it's a dangerous job. It gets harder every day, it seems like. And we are so grateful. Words, just, you know, what we can do is by our actions, the way we, you know, the way we treat our law enforcement officers, the way we provide what they need. Those are the things that matter. Jimmy's one of the, you know, few folks and one of the newer folks that, you know, I've now been in municipal government more than half my life. But I started with the city council in 1996. So he's one of those folks that came while I was here and is now able to leave while I'm here. And I have appreciated you. You have worked hard. You have been somebody that everybody could depend on. You know, so many times through the years, you know, I can remember being everywhere from, you know, a happy occasion like a Troy Fest or a lot more difficult situations that, you know, that I could look you in the eye, that I could shake your hand, that I could tell you how much I appreciated you, and you could tell me, thank you, boss. And while I'm just so proud of you, and I'm so proud that you've had this career, and now you get to go and have another career and a life and time and your family. And from me, and from every citizen in this community, everyone that travels through here, thank you for what you've done. Thank you for the way you've done it. And I just appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. And I know this is a little more somber, and I'm sure we'll joke around and have a good time in a minute. But it just, days like today mean a lot to me because, like I said, it's what I pray for every day is a good end to a great career. So, thank you.
Do we have any comments from any council members or former council members that may be here? If not, we'll move forward with comments from two minutes.
Threw me off there, we're off the script. Well, I don't know. Don't look at me like that. I'm not going to say anything but good things. And I think the mayor, touched on some of it. The things I appreciated from you over the years, not only just when I was the chief, were a lot of what he had to say. You came to work, you did a good job, you did what you were supposed to do. You were always yes sir and no sir. You, whenever you were given a task, you made it happen. You took care of it. And that means a lot from the standpoint of supervisors and chiefs and, you know, and because it's just nice to have somebody you can trust. And you certainly were one of those that can be trusted. I have no doubt, and I have said this before, if I had asked you to go outside and for your 8-hour shift to run head on into the brick wall out here, you would have gone and you would have done that for 8 hours. And that says, it says something to me, I hope it says something to everybody, that you were just a loyal member of the Troy Police Department. And you loved it here, and you were loved here. And I'll leave all the good stuff for everybody else. Just know that during my time here working with you in the various positions, that I appreciated you and thought the world of you. And congratulations, you're gonna enjoy it. Thank you.
Now in our program, or this program I got. Comments from retired officers and any other guests. First, before we get started with it, that may be here, I know that Chief Danny Barron had a conversation with a very special former police officer here, and that he's gonna relay a message from. He couldn't be here today.
Kim was supposed to have me a note from this individual. I called him, and I was going to write down a few things that he said, and I got his name down. Ken Andrews. Wanted me to get up and say a few things about you, and see if I can remember exactly what he said. But he basically just wanted to let you know that he is very proud of you, very proud of the man that you are, and very proud to call you his son-in-law. And when I asked him about some of the things that he wanted to say, I think it's something that'll be said many times up here today, is just that Jimmy's the kind of person that would give you the shirt off of his back. He's just got that kind of a heart. And I can say that from working with Jimmy over the years as well. That he also wanted me to let you know that he's proud of you. He's proud that you're being able to retire, and that he loves you very much. And he's sorry he's not able to be here today.
All right, now I know where I messed up. I looked at my program and I totally skipped over your biography. So you're gonna get a break for just a minute before everybody else gets started, and I'll read your biography. Sergeant Mueller was born in Brookfield, Wisconsin, and grew up in New Berlin, Wisconsin. He moved with his family to Florida in 1986. He graduated from high school in 1994 from American Heritage School in Plantation, Florida, where he lettered in football, wrestling, baseball, golf, and track and field. He was all Broward County in football from 1990 to 1993. He was all county in wrestling for 2 years. He was Hobie Youth Conference delegate and Valley Forge Youth Leadership Broward representative, and he was a member of the National Honor Society. He came to Troy, Alabama to play football in 1994 and 1995, and graduated with a criminal justice degree from Troy State University in December of 2001. While in college, he worked for Mueller, Alabama Farms to help with his tuition and room and board. In December of 1998, he began his career with the City of Enterprise Police Department as a police officer and field training officer. He graduated from the Montgomery Police Academy in March of 1999. And in 2001, he was awarded the Extra Mile Award from the Enterprise Police Department. In April of 2001, he was hired to be a patrol officer by the Troy Police Department. In 2006, he completed his traffic homicide investigation course in Selma, Alabama. And in February of 2007, he completed his training in basic forensic mapping for crash and crime scenes. He completed advanced in traffic crash reconstruction. In July of 2010, he was promoted to sergeant in patrol. And in December of 2021, he was recognized as Officer of the Year by the Brundage VFW. In September of 2023, he completed the National Traffic Incident Management Advanced Workshop. And in October of 23, Pike Liberal Arts School recognized him for his 14 years of dedicated service to their football program. Sergeant Mueller attended Richland Baptist Church with his family, and he is here today with his wife, Kim, 3 sons, Austin, Alex, and Riley, 2 daughters, Sierra and Katie, and all 5 of his grandchildren. So, what a outstanding career, and you know, the people up here in the front row, your family, as the mayor said, no better than anybody. Their sacrifice, and it's you know, the job you do, and the things that we deal with and see every day. And we just thank y'all for sharing him with us for all these years, and wish you all the best in your retirement. So, all right, at this point, comments from either retired officers and any other guests in the audience. Who gets to be first? I bet I know where this goes.
First of all, congratulations. I was Jimmy's supervisor on 2 different shifts. And it's like Chief Ennis said, you can tell him to dig a trench in this room, in this concrete, and he'd try his best. If traffic needed to be moved, he'd move the highway to get it done. He's just a hard-working young man. And we both had hair back then when he started. But Jimmy's a sergeant now. He's retiring. And but he holds another title. Back on second shift several years ago, it was raining so much that the cows were going for the high ground. Frogs were nervous. And we got a call about Pecan Street being flooded. I mean, it was flooded. I think the city had cut the right of way, and all the grass had went down in the drain and stopped it up. And a lady called and said she just went through there, and it was pretty deep. Jimmy was on the spot. He said, "I'll go check on it, LT." And 2 minutes later, he called me on the radio. He said, "Could I meet him at that location?" And sure enough, I went over there. Safety first, he had his overheads on. And I said, "What's going on?" He said, "Well, my car quit on." I said, "Well, what happened?" He said, "I drove through the water." So I said, "Don't worry about it, Jimmy. We'll take care of it. We'll call a wrecker or whatever we need to do. But what I want you to do right now for me is turn your hat around backwards." And Jimmy looked at me funny, and I'll do it. I'll demonstrate it for you. He put his hat on backwards like this. And I told him to hold up 2 hands. He held up 2 hands just like this. And now I said, you can say down periscope or up periscope. So the other title he holds, he was the first submarine commander of the 4th And we had a lot of fun with that over the years, and it was always a good thing to laugh about. But he worked hard that night. I mean, we was busy as we could be, Mayor. I mean, we were busy. Alarms were going off, but we got Jimmy another car, and he was right back out there. Jimmy, I'm proud of you. I was proud to be your supervisor. Herding cats was a lot like being your supervisor. But I enjoyed it, every minute of it. And I want to thank you for being such a good officer. Yeah, Mueller.
Next, I know there's more and more.
Good afternoon, everybody. As people have already said, you couldn't ask for a better person to be behind you who's stacked that more going to a bad call than Jimmy. Danny and I supervised him on 2 different shifts, and it was a task, because it wasn't the fact that he was going to get it done, it's how he's going to get it done and slowing it down. And I can remember a call one night, and back when we worked night shift, I mean, it started from the beginning to the end. You may end up with your name tag on or somebody else's name tag, because all you did was fight all night long. So one night in particular, I remember me and Danny went to this call on Madison Street. And we get in there, and the lady points to the back of the house, and she says, "Y'all got to get him, he's got to go." So we did as we were instructed to go back there, and God didn't want to leave, so we ended up trying to arrest him. Well, a fight ensued, and out of the blue, I'm not quite sure where this guy came from, but Danny and I were tied up with him. And I guess this other guy was coming on us, getting on us. And so we were scrambling dispatches, doing status checks and so forth and so on. And all I can remember is a commotion to my left. And me and Danny was trying to handcuff this other guy, and I could hear someone say, "Night, night." And I looked over, and Danny said, Jimmy, stop. So that individual who could get put to sleep, he didn't know how strong Jimmy was. Just like everybody said. Okay, go to sleep. Same thing. But he actually would do anything in the world for you. You know, the transition from going from night shift to day shift, he was here. Anything with traffic, anything with the wreck or whatever, you can always count on Jimmy to do it. But you go enjoy your retirement. Take care. I'll see you at Lowe's, because that's where you can be at most of the time. So, I'm proud of you.
Anybody else? Here you go.
everybody doing all right today? Well, everybody that knows me, my name is Chuck Rayleigh. When my career started here at the PD, I filled several nicknames, and one of them was Black Cloud. Because if it was gonna happen, it was gonna happen to me. And I was probably gonna be the instigator of most of it. Two people came along after a while up here at the department that took a lot of pressure off me. One of them is Lee Barnes, he's back there already laughing. Yeah. And another one was Jimmy. I mean, you know, two of the hardest working guys that you would ever want to be around. But they were two of the biggest knuckleheads. I mean, when I could sit back and laugh at them, that was a lot. You know, Freddie, Jimmy, Anthony, and Chief Reed were here, they could all tell you. But it, you know, it just didn't get any better than working with them. I didn't really get to work with Lee a whole lot, but I did with Jimmy. And we had a shift for a while on day shift with me and Jimmy and Julia Brown and Ben Crawley and Eric Ernsberger. We had a lot of fun. Gave Freddie a lot of headaches. That's why Freddie's hair's thinning too. And he's shaking his head. He's like, yep. But, you know, stories are fantastic. But when you make a mistake, the day that Jimmy made his, and all, and it gets turned into one of the best jokes that ever goes down. If y'all are familiar, do you remember the old Nextel phones, the old beep beep phones? And everything, when you're sitting there talking with somebody, and Jimmy and I were pulled up side by side, and we were talking, got a couple of calls, so we split and went our different ways. And we were being knuckleheads, we were just being nerds and talking about cartoons and everything else. Well, we pull off, and Jimmy picks up the radio. And he picks up the police radio, not his Nextel. And he makes a couple of comments doing his best Yosemite Sam impression. Can't be repeated. But I was already on George Wallace Drive going down the road when he said it, and I literally stopped my police car in the middle of the road. I was laughing so hard. I mean, people were riding by looking at me, and I couldn't drive. And everything, and so it goes on, and he comes back, and he's going like, did I say that on the air? Did I say that on the air? And I was like, yeah, you did. You know, everything gets... Yeah. Well, and then, you know, everything's recorded. And also, this was on a Sunday. And so Jimmy's like, oh my gosh, I'm in so much trouble, and everything, and I knew how he felt. He's like, what do you think they're going to do? I'm like, I don't know. You know, I don't think, you know, it's not the first time something like this has happened. Well, we rocked on. We go through Monday, and we go through Tuesday, and he's, you know, have you heard anything? Have you heard anything? And Chief Everett was chief at this time. I said, no. So we get around, I think it was Thursday. And I got a phone call at home that day from Chief Everett. And from Lieutenant Brooks at that time, you know, can you come up here to the station? And I'm like, all right. You know, and I was not in on the joke. And so I drove up here and I called Jimmy on the way and I said, well, I've gotten called in. And he's like, oh, I'm done. They're just gonna fire me. And everything. And so I got up here to the station. And they let me in on the joke about what was going to go on, which was really hard because I don't do good at holding stuff in. So they had called Jimmy in, and he came to the station, and when he walked in to Anthony Everidge's office, I mean, it was like this. I mean, he wouldn't even hold his head up. He wouldn't even look. And he walks up, and he sits down in front of the chief, and Chief's got a big manila envelope on the desk. I mean, it looked bad, you know, and he's sweating. I mean, bless his heart. And we discussed about what happened on the radio. And Chief Everidge and Lieutenant Brooks at that time, they got together. and made a recording of a bunch of other cartoon characters. And he looks at Jimmy and he says, well, have you got anything to say? And Jimmy's like, no. And everything, and Chief Evers reaches over and hits the play button on the tape recorder, and it just starts playing all these Looney Tunes sayings, and I'm rolling now. I'm laughing so hard, and everybody else is, but Jimmy. Jimmy's still sitting there in the chair with his head down and everything, and then all of a sudden that head goes. And he starts looking around like, what's going on? You know? And the best thing is, Chief Evers looks at him and goes, it was really funny. Once. Y'all, realizing what the city of Troy is losing today is going to be tough. That man right there would do anything. He's like a puppy dog. You pet him, you feed him, he's going to follow you around for life. I mean, and I mean that. I mean, he's as good as gold. He is just, it's going to be hard to replace him. It's like everybody else has said, he will do anything. And if he loves you, he'll do the extra mile. I mean, there's just nothing. You always wanted him with you, not behind you when you went to a fight. You wanted him up here. You didn't want to be behind him. I know that. You know, you didn't want to be in the way, you know, because you were going to get run over, because he didn't care. He was going to tackle the whole backfield and throw everybody out until he found the one with the ball. I mean, anything that had to go to jail. And that's what he did. And that's what he does. And I am so glad that he's going to get to retire. I've seen him struggle with his back. I've seen him struggle through just life, through a lot of different things, you know, and just putting up with everybody and putting up with everything that, you know, most people outside of this room just don't realize what goes on. You know, you deal with everybody's problems. You know, and it comes a day, Greg got to do it recently, I got to do it about 14 years ago. You know, that day is going to be gone. He's going to get up tomorrow morning wondering why he ain't going to work. He will for a while, and that's hard. It's going to be hard on Kim, it's going to be hard on Jimmy and everybody else. But it's really going to be hard on the police department, because they're going to turn around and they're going to look for him, and he's not going to be there. He's one of the best people that's ever worked here, and one of the best people I've ever worked with. And I am proud to call him my brother and my friend.
Truer words have never been spoken. Next. Anybody else?
Hey, look, brother, I appreciate it.
So me and Jimmy, I don't think we ever really worked a shift together, but we cross over a lot. And there's nothing I can say that y'all have heard about Jimmy that's not true, that's dissecting it 100%. Well, a couple things really stood out to me. I can tell you some great stories, but most of them I can't tell in here. But to be serious about Jimmy for a minute, he never made excuses for anything. He took responsibility. And I really admire that about him. And to show you his character, I used to be third shift supervisor on patrol. And staffing issues sometimes became a problem. Sometimes we would have to split the shift, and third shift being from 10:30 at night to 6:30 in the morning. If you're gonna split the shift, have somebody work over, then have somebody come in early. Somebody's gotta come in at 2:30 in the morning. And to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning, throw a uniform on, come on out and work an extra 4 hours, just because we're short on people, you don't have many people raising a hand for that. And Jimmy B, I think you were short at the time, weren't you? We were doing that a lot. Nobody else wanted to jump up, we needed that task. Jimmy raised his hand, said, I'll be there. And he did that consistently whenever we needed him. I could rely on him then, I could rely on him now. And that's who he is. So that's really what sticks out with me, so I'm proud for you, brother.
reached the part of the program now where we get comments from our current Troy police officers. Lee started us off, so I'll go next. I wasn't going to tell any stories, and then Chuck brought up, the comments about Jimmy. He's absolutely somebody you wanted in a fight. He was always going to be there, and if you got in the way, he may pick you up and slam you with the bad guy. And I had that happen to me. The guy stiff-armed me. I was a little bit smaller than the guy, and before I could put my hands on him, Jimmy had me and the guy and picked both of us up and went to the ground. But what do you say? You get up here and we start talking about a career that somebody's had over the last 25 years, and most of that time, Jimmy and I have worked together. I was thinking about this the other night, I couldn't sleep. Just a flood of memories come back of all that we've been through together in this job. We've seen a lot of bad, we've seen a lot of good, we've had a lot of laughs together, we've cried together. When you think of a brother, in this job, we are certainly brothers and sisters. And as the mayor said, one of my prayers every day is that we all go home safe. And I'm so proud that you're getting the opportunity to retire. That has definitely been an answered prayer of mine. I was reminded of 2 Timothy 4:7. Paul writes to Timothy, and he's taking it out of context a little bit here. He's talking about living the life, and he's finishing his life as a Christian. But he says, I fought the good fight. I finished the race. I kept the faith. And man, I'm so proud that you have finished this race and this career. And we know that this is not the end. This is just the beginning. And it's my prayer that you have many, many more good years ahead of you with your family. And I'm so proud that you're going to be able to enjoy not getting called in the middle of the night, being off on the weekends, getting up at a regular hour, not at 4 o'clock in the morning. You're not going to know what to do for a while, but I think you'll figure it out, just like everybody else has. Brother, I just wanted to tell you I'm so proud of you, and I love you, and wish you all the love in the future. Willie Bland did not want to come forward, but I'm going to ask him to stand up. Is Willie here? Willie's a retired officer. Come on up here, Jimmy. He wanted me to give this to you. He worked with Jimmy several years on day shift, but he had this gift for you, and he wanted me to give this to you for him. He's a little shy. He didn't want to come in front of me, so I'm going to make him stand up. That's
You may have to film the opening of that later so we all know what it is. Anybody else want to come forward and speak? Hang on, one more minute. Oh,
I think I've known Jimmy maybe longer than a lot of people in this room. He and I met December 10th, 1998 at the Montgomery Police Academy. He saw the patch on my arm and he walked up to me, introduced himself. He says, I ride through your town every day going to work. And I knew then this guy's different. I knew then he was different. But what I did realize at that time is that he may do a lot of things that make you shake your head and like, man, what was he thinking? But his heart is always in the right place, always. His intentions were well. He meant well. I went off to the left, to the right, down the middle, or whatever. But he was dedicated to his department, and he's just a good person, and I'm gonna miss him. Now, I feel that book, I wrote my name in that book out there, but I didn't put my address in there because I don't want you to have it. I don't want you to come to my house. Okay, so now there's a thread that's running through this whole thing, and it's the fact that Jimmy Mueller is just a good person. That's kind of it, you know, and nothing else you can really say about it. And before I go, what I'll say to Miss Kim is just like you holding him now, hold on to him for dear life, because you got a good one. You have a good one. Jimmy, you are my friend, and I wish you well. Good luck in the next chapter, my friend.
Jimmy and I have crossed paths before we really started knowing we were crossing paths. He informed me that while he was playing football at Troy University, I was working at the University Police Department as a parking monitor. And he decided he would park illegally. Well, that was the first time that I had a connection to him, as he was starting out his career in a sense, going towards law enforcement, and I was doing my same with me, going towards my law enforcement career. The next time we had our path, and I'm going to say this here, our paths keep crossing. If you don't believe that there's a plan for your life, this right here is just a small example of how these paths will continually cross and interweave so that you can build your life upon these connections here. And we both worked on second shift here at Troy Police Department. When he came to work here, he was about 6 months before I got hired on the Troy Police Department, so he's always had that few extra months there on top of me on there as far as our time here. But he was the example of dedication, as you've already heard so many people testify to today. His work ethic was strong. His family ethic was even stronger. And he fit into the Troy Police Department family and would always work hard. Now, you didn't know what you were getting some days. Some days, it's kind of like what a Sour Patch Gummy Bear maybe. Some days he might be grumpy. Some days he might be caring and compassionate. But either way it goes, he was still going to be there for you and help you out. If you needed something done, he was going to do it. You've heard that said so many times today already. But his idea of family is what I want to focus on right now real quickly, because little did I know that that family would come into another connection through marriage. So for those of you that do not know, I am now kin to Jimmy Mueller. And there's not a day that goes by that I don't regret that at all. It's just an extra added perk to this whole life's journey here. When he married Kim, we became connected through that. And family is what I'm going to keep coming back to when I say this, because that is what I learned when I first started with Troy PD, is what Troy PD was all about, was family. We are here for each other. We're going to be there for each other to help each other through the thick and the thin, no matter what is happening. We are there. Family sticks together, and it's evident because you have family here, both still working. You have family sitting here. You have family retired. You have family with the city of Troy that is here. And it is a testimony to what you have instilled in us as well, because we will stick together no matter whether you're working here with us or you moved on to another job. You come back to your family. And our family is what's so strong here at the Troy Police Department. So Jimmy, thank you for allowing me to work with you and instilling within me the idea of family as well, and keeping me safe. And I will always be there for you, even though you're married to Kim. Thank you, and job well done, and congratulations on your retirement.
Anybody else? Lewis family? I don't know what he's got in his hand, but he's bringing something.
I don't know what in the world to say except amen to everything that everybody's always saying. I never worked a shift with Jimmy. I was in the detective division for what seemed like forever. And I know that any time that we had something serious going on, if we used to refer to them as bulldogs. If we said we need some bulldogs for this guy, he might give us trouble. Somebody would always say, "Is Mueller working?" He was one of the first ones we'd get, and everything that's been said about this man is the truth. He's got a fantastic work ethic and one of the best attitudes of anybody. I was honored to be able to finish out my career here as patrol captain, and a big part of that job, as you will know, is satisfying the public a lot of times when they have a complaint about something, and oftentimes it's just that they don't understand what happened or why it happened. It's not that they're really upset, they just don't understand why something happened. If you explain it to them, and it's okay. I can truthfully say that I've never had not one complaint about Mueller. I mean, never. I had a lot of compliments. I had one guy that I ran into at Bird Drugs one day, and he asked me did I work down here, and I said, yeah. And he said, one of you young men helped me out the other day, nice young fellow, and he couldn't remember his name. And I asked him, did he notice what the number on the unit was? He didn't remember that. But he said he was a kind of stout guy, and real short hair. I don't know if he was shaving then, but it was real short. And he said, when he said this, I knew it was. He said, you know that show, The Addams Family? I said, yeah. He said, you know that guy Fester? He said, I said, I know that man. But seriously, I can't say anything bad about Jimmy. Freddie stole my thunder on. I was going to say that he would have had a brilliant career in the Navy, but Freddie covered that. So, listen, that's a little yellow baby compared to a lot of stuff folks have done, so don't worry about that. And always remember, as long as somebody's joking you about it, they love you. I like what you said. I like that a lot, because that's true. That's true. This is a family, and I feel like one of the luckiest men in the world to have worked here. And I'm gonna tell you, they're right. The first 2 or 3 weeks are weird. You get up and you feel like you're supposed to be coming down here. But as time goes on, I can promise you it gets better. You don't miss all these crazy people that you have to deal with every day. That would be nice. But I do. I wish you a lot of luck, and I hope you enjoy your retirement. I hope you stay healthy. And I didn't bring this to you. I don't even know what this is, really. I think this is something that Greg Wright left at my house. He come out there to do some work. He just trashes up there. Just leaves stuff all over the place. I want y'all to know, you'll like this. I want you to know he come out there to my house, and Stephen Egan, my wife, had him doing some shelves and stuff out there for him. Closet there. And he got mad because Stephen parked his truck at the front door, because the closet was right there at the front door, and unloaded the stuff brought in. He calls me and says, how come I got to come in the back door? He's always causing trouble. You can't take him anywhere. Hang on a minute, I'm coming right there. I'm trying to tilt these things around. I don't know what, but I want you to know. Did you hear what he said? He said, it's for your TV. He hung a TV. My TV, since he come out there, my TV comes on when you open the refrigerator. But anyway, so just remember that at some point, if you need somebody, and Greg comes out there, don't let him in the front door. Don't do it. Seriously, you've had the best attitude, and you will sorely be missed. I mean, when I was patrol captain, it's like y'all said, I mean, anytime that you needed somebody, if you were in a clutch, if you could get hold of Mueller, he would come. He never complained. I never heard him say a bad word about another officer. He got along with everybody. He was just one of those people that it was a pleasure to see every day. And somebody like that does not come along every day. And I wish you the best. And if I can ever do anything for you, I hope you'll call me. I certainly do it. And I always enjoyed working with you. I'm proud of you, and I'm proud for you. And good luck, and don't forget to wash behind your ears.
Anybody else? If not, we'll move on to the next part of our program, and I'm back on track. You know, I was thinking about, when I look back and saw your career and our friendship over the years, I'm trying to think of some words that come to mind, when I think of him. And some of those words are honesty, integrity, loyalty, all of these things have been mentioned. Dependability, strength. If you need something moved, you better make sure you're where you want him to put it, because he's fixing to move. Grit, toughness, Shrek. That was his nickname, but one we'll never forget. But there's one thing that stands out above the rest, and that's friend. I couldn't be more grateful for you. Thank you for the job that you've done. It's always good to see a smiling face, especially when you sit where I do. And you not only came up there on business, but you came up there as a friend. And there's a lot of days that you made my day better. And we thank you, we love you, and we wish you all the best in your retirement. If you'll come up, we will present your plaque, and we'll go.
It's not loaded, is it?
It will be. Which one? This is a little something that we got for you. You can use as you see fit. Your service weapon. And your a couple more here, please. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for your service. We look back on this and remember us fondly. And, like I said, we wish you all the best. That's your turn.
I'm guessing this is a lift. Mueller's not allowed to talk to the public. There's a reason I was never allowed to talk to the public. Looking out after all these young guys that I see. Just keep it in. Can you hear me now, Lee? I was trying not to use my traffic voice. It has been nothing but a pleasure serving with all of you. It has been nothing but a pleasure working underneath all of you and learning from you all these years. Listen to your supervisors. Learn what you can from these guys, mold it into your own, and then teach the younger guys just to help them out. We've got to keep passing it down from one year to another. That's the only way we're going to keep making this place the best place to work, and that's what this has been for me. My second home, my second family, the best place I ever could have worked, and I thank you all for that.
This concludes our service, conference ceremony. One thing is going to be, we got food in the back, and please stick around and fellowship, and I know we're going to make some pictures and stuff. One thing's a little bit different, Sergeant Mueller wants to do a last call. He's going to step out to his car, which is parked right outside, and do a last call with dispatch, if you want to step out and watch that. And then come back in and please, some of this, delicious food, your stuff is pretty prepared, and fellowship. Thank you all so much for coming. Benediction. Brother Evans.
I just wanted to say